In a quiet valley nestled between towering mountains, there lived a revered monk in a small temple. Known for his wisdom, people from far and wide came to seek his guidance. One day, as the monk was meditating near the river, a young traveler approached him, looking troubled. "Master," the young man said, "I have heard tales of your wisdom, and I have come to ask you something. No matter how hard I try, the fear of failure haunts me at every step I take towards my dreams. Why is it that I cannot shake this fear, and how can I overcome it to reach my goals?" The monk smiled gently and responded, "I will answer your question, but first, walk with me. I have something to show you." The traveler, eager to find a solution to his problem, agreed and followed the monk as they began walking towards the mountains. After a long walk, they reached the base of a steep mountain path. The monk pointed to the top of the mountain and said, "Let us climb this mountain together. It may not be easy, but it will help you find your answer." The young man, though hesitant, agreed. They started their ascent, but soon, the path became narrow and difficult. The young man began to have doubts. "Master, what if I fall? What if I cannot make it to the top?" The monk said nothing, continuing to climb, and the young man, despite his fear, followed. As they climbed higher, the path became even more treacherous. At one point, they reached a narrow ledge with a sheer drop on one side. The young man froze, his heart pounding with fear. "Master, I can't go any further. What if I slip? What if I fail?" The monk turned to him and calmly replied, "Do not look down at the drop, nor think about the distance to the top. Focus only on the next step right in front of you." The young man took a deep breath and followed the monk's advice, focusing only on placing one foot in front of the other. Slowly but steadily, they continued their climb. After what felt like an eternity, they reached a plateau near the summit where they could rest. The monk sat down and motioned for the young man to join him. The view from the plateau was breathtaking, but the young traveler still felt uneasy. "Master," he said, "I still don't understand. Why does the fear of failure grip me so tightly?" The monk pointed to the path behind them and said, "When we began our journey, your focus was not on the next step, it was on the possibility of falling, on how far you still had to go. That fear clouded your mind and nearly stopped you. But once you focused on the present, on each step, you overcame the fear and made it here." The young man listened carefully as the monk continued, "In life, the fear of failure arises when we let our minds wander from the task at hand. We start worrying about what could go wrong, what others will think, or how long the journey might take. But success is not achieved by thinking of the entire mountain. It is achieved by focusing on each step." The young traveler pondered this and asked, "But what about those who try to dissuade us? What if people tell us we are on the wrong path?" The monk smiled and said, "On the path to the summit, did you see anyone else? There were no voices to tell you it was too hard or impossible, just as there were no shortcuts to make the climb easier. The only thing that mattered was your determination to take each step forward. In life, many will offer opinions or distractions, but only you can walk your path. Others' fears are not your own, and their doubts should not become your obstacles." The young man nodded, beginning to understand. The monk finished with a final piece of wisdom: fear only exists when we lose sight of the path in front of us. Focus on your next step, and the fear will fade. Trust that the summit will come when the time is right. With newfound clarity, the young man stood up and looked towards the mountain peak. He felt no fear, only a sense of purpose. He thanked the monk deeply and made a promise: "From this day forward, I will focus only on my next step, and I will not let fear or doubt hold me back." The monk smiled as the young traveler began his descent back to the valley, carrying the wisdom he had gained with every step he took. If we see in our own lives, we often find that fear, much like the young travelers, stems from focusing too much on the unknown ahead. We become consumed by the what-ifs, imagining the worst possible outcomes, and allowing doubt to overshadow our efforts. But just like the climb up the mountain, success in life isn't achieved in one giant leap, it's built step by step, one decision, one action at a time. The lesson the monk shared is a simple yet profound truth. By concentrating on the present moment and the task immediately in front of us, we reduce the power of fear. Each step forward, no matter how small, is progress. When we stop worrying about how far we have to go, we begin to see how far we've already come. Life will always present challenges, but these obstacles are also opportunities for growth. And while doubt and fear may never fully disappear, they no longer need to control us. The key is to keep moving forward, trusting that with each step, we are becoming stronger, wiser, and more capable of reaching the summit of our goals. This story reminds us that our journey is unique, and it's ours to walk. The mountain may be steep, but as long as we keep our eyes on the path before us, we'll find the strength to overcome any fear and reach new heights.